As a church leader, your time and resources are limited. It's difficult to find discipleship and Bible study materials that are affordable, easily accessible, and high quality. But there is a way to equip the people in your church every day of the week without losing sleep. Welcome to Right Now Media, the world's largest library of video-driven Bible study resources, used by more than 20,000 churches, schools, and organizations. With a Right Now Media subscription, everyone in your church can access thousands of biblical resources for kids, couples, small groups, and more. Give your members access to great content, anytime, anywhere, on any device.
And God specifically says, the way you think, that's not the same way I think.
Equip and inspire everyone in your church beyond Sunday.
Hello, Bereans. Good to be with you. My name is Solomon Izangi-Shams, and welcome to Solomon's Temple. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Wherever you are, please give me a shout out. Make sure you use the comment section. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, awesome to have you here. First, I need to apologize. I was supposed to have an interview to talk about a sex scandal involving a bishop from the East Rand. He has a church. He's a very old man. He's supposed to be turning 70 soon. And he has branches across South Africa. And he got to a place where he allegedly actually asked this girl to put together a brothel, which he uses. But due to some technical issues, we have to push it over to tomorrow. So if you check out the broadcast programs, I put it on for tomorrow already. So please make sure you go there right now on YouTube and just click on the notification button just so you'll be aware when we come on tomorrow. Lorena, praise Jesus, bro. Texas presence. Wow, good to have Texas in the house. Philomena Okoji, all the way from the USA. Great to have you here. Another Berean here from Pretoria. Queen, awesome. Bongani, great to have you here also. Mwape from Lusaka, Zambia, awesome. Modisi, and also there's Tandy and Choni. And my brother here, Berean from Namibia, awesome. Good to have you here. Marilyn, you are first to be here today. Great to have you here. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Here to have one of you guys. Awesome. You see Queen saying, always the bishops doing these nasty things. And I ask, where do these people get all these titles? Indeed. Peter says, I'm here too. Great to have you here, Peter and Mrs. Multa. Great to have you here. All of you guys. So I need to talk about something that came out straight of Nigeria. It's a satanic burial. You know, I when I saw this, one of the things that hit me is just more the way this Satanist was buried, right? And it left me with a lot of questions. The way he was buried, it left me with a whole lot of questions. And I now ask myself, is this the way? Do we see some of these practices in the church? You know, so we're gonna go through the story, but this is a man who is actually turning how old is he now? Almost 70, yeah, almost 70. So what's the story? The story is this guy who is who is popularly in Nigeria, they know him as the King of Satan. King of Satan. You know, he passed away at the age of 74. And he was buried in a car in his village. And the car engine was running with his favorite song playing, which was more his coffin. So all of that now went into the what do you call it? It went into the.
Can you believe it? So this is the king of, he calls himself King of Satan in Nigeria. His name is Simon, who passed away. This is him here. Hope you can see him. This is him here. Oh, King of Satan. Passed away at the age of 74. So obviously he was an old man from the look of things. And for you to get to a place where you call yourself King of Satan, that was what it was popularly called. Because Satanism was something that was a part of the family culture. Let's check out some excerpt from this. So the Nigerian man popularly known as King of Satan has been buried in a car in his village in southeastern Enugu state following his death at the age of 74. He was buried in a car. What does that tell you? Why do we get to a place where what pushes people to get to a place?
You do some very obscene, unusual things, whether dead or alive, you do these things. What is that for? What pushes people to do that? What pushed King of Satan to do that? The car engine was on, and Simon Odo's, that's his name, his favorite song was played in the vehicle, which served as his coffin, according to those present. So the car, put him in the car, his dead body in the car, switch on the engine, put some music, his favorite song. You dug the grave already, the size of the car, and then I don't know how they're going to put the car inside. Someone is just going to drive and then come out of the car and then the car goes in. Or they're going to look for sort of a machine to take the car and put it in there and then you seal it up. That is very, very unusual and very... How do we get to a place where we want to create so much drama? What pushes people that you want that kind of attention? Is that attention? And the same man claimed, actually, here we go. During an interview with BBC Igbo in 2020, Mr. Odo said he had inherited the practice of worshiping Satan from his parents and grandparents who were Satanists, but he insisted he did not help others to harm fellow human beings. How possible is that? Are there Satanists that actually do not harm other people? Then what is really Satanism if you are not harming other people? I feel one way or the other, Satanism would harm other people. And this is one of the most absurd things here also. He said he had 57 wives and had lost count of the number of children and grandchildren he had. 57. So his life is very colorful. 57 wives, and you don't know the number of grandchildren and children that you have. And you see, when I went through the life of this guy who calls himself King of Satan, I sort of like saw a lot of attributes in regarding his life that I can see in a lot of false prophets and charlatans and so-called pastors today. Just the color that is around the life of this man. He was married to 57 wives. He doesn't even know his children and grandchildren because there's so many. Do you know some pastors that will be married, some prophets will be married to, you think they're married to one wife, but you would not believe in the last 5 years.
You think that these pastors, these charlatans, these false fake prophets are married to one wife because that's the wife you see in church and all that, but you do not believe how many women they have slept with. They are the same. And they keep sleeping with more and more and more. Why this obscene and very extreme lifestyle? I just feel this is a spirit. I feel it's a spirit. Because you look at that, you look at the way he passed away, and he said, when I passed away, please bury me in a car and play my kind of music that I love. And we see a lot of the identity. So his identity is connected to a car, to music. So, and you see a lot of all these charlatans and fake prophets, and any pastor that you see, and bishop and prophets that you see them taking pictures with a Rolls Royce and putting it on social media, and the Ferrari, and driving this car, or sitting in the car and taking picture, or outside the car and taking picture. There is something, there is a satanic spirit that is over them. These guys, they learn from the spirit. The same spirit that was operating in this guy. The same spirit. And it leaves you with a lot of questions, like how much have we imported from satanic practices and implemented that in church? In a lot of churches, how many prophets and bishops and apostles are actually intentionally also putting and implementing satanic practices with full knowledge of where they got those ideas and strategies from, implementing that in their lives and in the life of their so-called church? He's a Satanist, so obviously he's sleeping with this woman, and he had 57 wives? And then you give birth to kids and grandkids and you don't even know them. You cannot keep count. How can you be proud of that? There's no way you can be proud of that. Because recently we've seen the rise of practices that are satanic in the church. From the pulpit, we've seen the rise of that. From what we say, how we say it, relationship, the prophets or the bishop's relationship with people, relationship with women, the issue of money, the issue of sex, the issue of prayer, the issue of prophecy, the issue of laying of hands, the issue of water, the issue of cloth, the issue of prayer mountain, the issue of so many different issues. We cannot, Bereans, we cannot lose track. We cannot just lose track. We're going to have such people or such practices trying to invade the church space every time until Jesus returns. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't continually speak about it, expose it, disagree with it, not just the practice, but also the individuals executing the practice. We have to speak out. The fact that you said to be buried with a car and your music playing and all that, it shows how much I don't know what sort of where he felt he was gonna go to after he dies. Maybe obviously he doesn't believe in heaven, so maybe he believes there's a place that he's gonna go to. Amen. Nip the car, maybe. But he says a lot about how he's attached to tangible things, material things. How he loved material things, how his reality and his spirituality is also linked to material things. And there's a lot of prophets and bishops and leaders, Christian leaders, that they've lost the reality of heaven. Some of them are beginning to even say, okay, there's no heaven. They're not going to tell you that, but they said that privately. And you see that from the way they live their lives. They don't care. I've heard about that quite a lot. Quite a lot. Have we attached ourselves so much to physical things, to money, to fame, to houses, to cars, to the clothes and all that, all the accolades, that we've lost our spiritual senses? Because now we just believe life is here and now, so I'm just going to do it. But the danger also is, and the bad part of it is, you have these prophets and these pastors believing in that, but they never tell the congregation. But they keep preaching and deceiving the congregation just to satisfy their needs. Is there even a need or a want? Whichever one. So if you want to understand very much a lot of this new age and new era type prophets and charlatans that are masquerading all across Africa, in pulpits, you have to understand the way Satanism works. And you have to understand the way African traditional beliefs work, because they are importing it daily. They are looking for one section or that section or that section. They're importing it to the church. And they try to kind of like twist it and rebrand it to make it look like it's spiritual. And they get some sort of Bible verses to back it up. And it's totally irrelevant to that cause. So we have to watch out. We have to watch out. Trony says Satan is really punishing his servants. 57 wives, that's the punishment. How do you even do that? Evelyn says he wants to create something new, something that's never taken place before. He wants to make history. Damaro is from Lucifer generation, and it will be like a chain in his family. Queen, 57 wives, were those wives normal in their mind? I'm sure they were charmed, these ones. You never know. Caroline says, Solomon, do you have an update and see remotely from Interactive? I have no idea. Someone was asking me just before I came in here. He's still in the funeral parlor, in the fridge, in the morgue. So this gentleman here calls himself the King of Satan. We always gonna have an opportunity to repent. I'm sure he got opportunity to repent, but it seems like he never did. But I love God because of the opportunity, the second chance and the second chance and the second chance. And we need to embrace that. You have to observe your life today, please, Bereans. Observe your life today and say, what do I need to do differently? Where do I need to change my lifestyle to suit to biblical standards? What are the areas where I've allowed some foreign beliefs and practices to invade my life, my walk with God? Please evaluate. It's time to evaluate. It's time to evaluate. Because before you know it, your culture can give you some certain satanic practices that you implement and you think is okay. A bishop can give you certain satanic practices. An apostle can give you, a prophet can give you certain satanic practices. Your church can give you certain satanic practices, because I don't know the kind of church that you go to. That's why I'm calling all of us Bereans, because we need to study scriptures just so we can question certain practices. We see it. And we get to understand that. And how do we grow? How do we unlearn certain things? What are the hindrances to your walk with God? Outwardly, inwardly. What are the hindrances? Please observe that. That is important. If there's anything that is important to God, my wife and I started reading the book of First Chronicles today. She was like, "Oh, this book, it's gonna be boring again." You know, like the first 8 chapters is just genealogies and genealogies. You know, but reading through it, there are certain names that were mentioned and certain things were said of them. Just like Cush was said, he was a mighty man in the face of the earth. Is it Cush? Is it Nimrod, rather? And the others was just name and name and name, but there was no explanation who they really are or what they did. Of course, there's like Abraham and Jacob. Obviously, we know about them. But this was said of Nimrod, a mighty man. And right there, you know the hearts of that person. You know, God is interested in our hearts more than any other thing. He's not interested in how much energy we, but is your heart in the right place? Are you daily saying, "Lord, that thought was wrong. Please forgive me. Help me." That intention, what I told this person, this unbelief, we all struggle with that. But we have to be intentional that we are advancing instead of just like allowing it to be normal. That's my prayer for you, Bereans. That's my prayer for you. So, may the Lord bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine upon you. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Please make sure you subscribe and share this video. I'll be back again tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.